What is up, guys? Today I'll be reviewing Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. So let's start the movie. The movie starts off with Tommy Jarvis, still played by Corey Feldman in this part, and he's coming to see Jason's grave. Then he tries to hide after he sees two guys trying to dig Jason up. Then Jason comes back to life and then takes down those guys, and then it looks like he's going to take out Tommy Jarvis, but then it turns out it's a dream. Tommy Jarvis is 17 years old. This takes place 5 years after part 4. And Tommy is being taken to this place called Pinehurst, where the guy, Matthew Letter, is the owner of the place. Then Tommy goes to his room and then he gets scared by a fake spider. It turns out it's a guy named Reggie the Reckless that did that prank. Then he scares Reggie with a mask that doesn't look as good because Tom Savini and all those other guys aren't working on this movie. And Reggie goes outside, and then there's police sirens. It turns out two teens were doing it near this lady's house. Then this lady named Ethel shows up and tells the cop if they ever go back to her house, she'll take him down. Then we get introduced to more characters. Joey, which messes up Violet and Robin doing their laundry. And then Joey goes over to a guy named Vic that's chopping wood with an axe, and he's kind of crazy. And then Joey tries to give him chocolate bar, but he just hits it with the axe, and then he hits Joey in the back with the axe. And the police show up, Naked Gun style, and arrest Vic. Then the paramedics show up to show off the body for some reason. And then one of the paramedics, Roy, looks shocked about this. While they're right there, can they just do the autopsy on the lawn like that and just give the... Yeah, I'm gonna stop before this gets too much. Then that night, two greasers are having car trouble, and this is very strange, but it's apparently assumed that these guys kind of have a little relationship, apparently, of all the things I've seen on the internet. But they have car trouble, and then one of them has to go take a crap, and then one of them is working on the car, and then Jason takes one of them down. And then the other greaser returns, and then this copycat Jason takes him out. Then the next morning, Tommy's having a hallucination, but I'd like to call it a hallucination. And Tommy goes to eat breakfast, but a guy steals one of his masks, and then Tommy attitude adjustments him John Cena style, then Stone Cold pummels him. Somebody get official out here. Then some homeless-looking guy shows up on Ethel's door, and then she said she'll feed him if he does something. And then that night, a guy is picking up a waitress named Lana. No, not the one from wrestling. But anyway, the guy that's picking her up tried to pick up Tommy and send him to the Pinehurst house earlier, but she then gets dressed, and then Jason takes the guy out, and then Jason then tries to take her out. Then the mayor of Crystal Lake tries to convince the sheriff that Jason was cremated. Then two of the teens from Pinehurst, Eddie and Tina, tried doing it, and then that guy that showed up on Ethel's house gets taken down by Jason. Then Jason takes Tina out with shears, and then he grabs a belt and then crushes Eddie in the face across a tree. Then that night, Pam takes Tommy and Reggie to Reggie's older brother, Demon, and then he asks Pam if he wants to eat some of the food that he got. And then Junior shows up, and then Tommy beats the crap out of him, and then Pam runs after Tommy, and then they leave. And then Demon says he needs to go to the bathroom. Then Demon and his girlfriend sing a duet together before she gets taken down by Jason. Then Demon gets taken down by Jason. Well, what did they put in those enchiladas, though? Maybe it was Taco Bell. I don't know. And then Junior goes back to the house on his motorcycle, and then he gets a cleaver to his head, and then his mom thinks that he's in the house, but then Jason then hits her in the face with the cleaver, and then her face lands in the stew. Come on, do these movies not like produce or something? And then back at Pinehurst, Robin and Jake are watching a movie, and I forgot to add that Jake's a stuttering character, and he stutters to Robin that he wants to do it with her, but she laughs at him. Then he leaves, and then he gets to cry, and then Jason then takes him out with a cleaver to the face. And then Jason then takes Robin out with a iconic kill through the bed. And then Violet's dancing in her room. And then Jason stabs her in the pillow in her shirt. And then Reggie wakes up and then sees the three characters that Jason took down in Tommy's room. And then Pam returns, then says, "What is it?" to Reggie very aggressively. And then she sees it, and then she trips Reggie. And then Jason busts through the door, or is it Tommy? But he busts through the door, and then they go outside, and then they see the paramedic Duke that was laughing at Joey's dead body. Then Pam goes back into the house, and then Grandpa's body gets thrown through the windows, and he has no eyes. Well, I guess Grandpa and Jason have something in common now, but then Pam runs back outside, and then Reggie comes with a tractor and then hits Jason with it. And then they go into the barn, and then Pam has a chainsaw like Jenny did in part 2, and then Jason and Pam fight with the machete versus chainsaw, but the chainsaw runs out of fuel. And then Tommy shows up, proving that Tommy is not the killer. And then he thinks it's a hallucination, dream hallucination. And then it turns out it's not, so he slices Tommy. And then Tommy fakes his death for like 3 seconds and then stabs the Jason copycat in the crotch with a pocket knife that he had. And then they go up on the balcony, and then they think they knocked him down from there, but it's not actually. He comes back, and then Tommy has to hit him with the machete in the hand, and then he falls, and then it turns out, oh snap, it's Roy Burns. You know, the paramedic guy from earlier. And then the police officer, sheriff, tells Pam what happened. And so basically what you're telling me, this whole movie happened just because of a candy bar? Because, yep, turns out that Joey's father is Roy. And then Pam goes to see Tommy in the hospital bed, and it turns out Tommy has a machete and then hits Pam with it. And then it turns out Pam is, nope, it's just a dream. Then Tommy sees Jason. And then, for some reason, Tommy still has Roy's mask for some reason. And then Pam hears a glass shattering, and then turns out Tommy's behind her, and then he has the knife, and then he looks like he's about to attack her. And then, don't worry, in part 6, they don't go anywhere with this. And that was my review of Friday the 13th, part 5, The New Beginning. And if you liked this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!